Before we dive deeper into the topic, it's important to acknowledge the sensitive nature of addiction and substance abuse. This video discusses the effects of addiction on various aspects of our lives, which might be triggering for some viewers. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please seek professional help. Viewer discretion is advised as we navigate these serious and impactful topics, highlighting the importance of understanding and overcoming these challenges for a healthier and more fulfilling life. Imagine a force so powerful it can rewire your brain, alter your reality, and consume your entire existence. What if I told you this force is lurking in plain sight, affecting millions of lives every day? Today, we're diving deep into the heart of addiction, a journey that will challenge your perceptions and may even change your life. Where does addiction come from? It's a question that has puzzled humanity for centuries, and today, we're going to unravel this complex tapestry together. Addiction isn't just about drugs or alcohol, it's a multifaceted issue that touches every corner of our society. From the depths of despair to the heights of hope, we'll explore the roots of addiction and discover the path to healing. Addiction is a cunning enemy, often disguising itself as a friend. It promises relief, escape, and pleasure, but delivers pain, isolation, and destruction. As we embark on this journey, remember that addiction doesn't discriminate. It affects people from all walks of life, regardless of age, gender, race, or social status. We're all vulnerable, and that's why understanding its origins is crucial for all of us. But here's the twist. The very factors that make us susceptible to addiction are also the keys to our liberation. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of addiction and discover the power within you to overcome it? Let's start by examining the biological roots of addiction. Our brains are wired for survival, and the reward system plays a crucial role in this. When we engage in activities that promote our well-being, like eating or socializing, our brain releases dopamine, creating feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. This system evolved to reinforce behaviors that kept our ancestors alive. However, addictive substances and behaviors hijack this natural reward system. They flood our brains with dopamine, creating an artificial high that's far more intense than what we experience from natural rewards. Over time, our brains adapt to this heightened stimulation, requiring more of the substance or behavior to achieve the same effect. This is how tolerance develops, setting the stage for addiction. But biology is just one piece of the puzzle. Environmental factors play a significant role in the development of addiction. Childhood experiences, family dynamics, and societal pressures all contribute to our vulnerability. Trauma, in particular, can be a powerful driver of addiction. Many people turn to substances or addictive behaviors as a way to cope with unresolved pain or overwhelming emotions. Now let's dive into a perspective that often gets overlooked in discussions about addiction: the spiritual dimension. As we explore the spiritual aspect of addiction, it's important to recognize that many people find strength and guidance in their faith during times of struggle. The Bible offers numerous insights into the nature of addiction and the path to recovery. In Proverbs chapter 23, verses 29 to 35, we find a vivid description of the consequences of alcohol addiction. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? Those who linger over wine, who go to sample bowls of mixed wine. Do not gaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. This passage illustrates the deceptive nature of addiction, how it can appear attractive at first but ultimately leads to suffering. It reminds us that addiction is not just a physical or psychological issue, but also a spiritual one. Many people struggling with addiction describe feeling a deep sense of emptiness or disconnection. This spiritual void can drive us to seek fulfillment in unhealthy ways. As St. Augustine famously said, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in you, O Lord." This sentiment speaks to the human need for connection, purpose, and meaning, needs that addiction often promises to fill but ultimately cannot satisfy. The journey of recovery, then, is not just about abstaining from a substance or behavior, it's about healing on all levels: physical, emotional, and spiritual. It's about reconnecting with our true selves, with others, and for many, with a higher power. But here's the million-dollar question. If addiction is so destructive, why do people start using in the first place? The reasons are as varied as we are. Some of us are seeking relief from physical or emotional pain. Others are looking for excitement or a way to fit in socially. Still others may be curious or pressured by peers. And for many, addiction creeps in slowly, starting with seemingly harmless habits that gradually spiral out of control. It's crucial to understand that no one chooses to become addicted. Addiction is a complex interplay of genetic predisposition, environmental factors, and personal choices. It's a disease that affects the brain, impairing judgment and decision-making abilities. This is why breaking free from addiction often requires more than just willpower. It demands a comprehensive approach that addresses all aspects of a person's life. Before I forget, if you find this video helpful and inspiring, please smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Don't forget to click the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you: the role of connection in addiction. Dr. Bruce Alexander's famous rat park experiments shed light on the importance of social connections in addiction. When rats were isolated in empty cages with access to drug-laced water, they became addicted. But when they were placed in a stimulating environment with other rats and plenty of activities, they largely avoided the drugged water. This suggests that addiction is not just about exposure to a substance, but about the quality of our lives and relationships. In our increasingly disconnected world, many of us are experiencing a profound sense of loneliness and isolation. We're more connected than ever through technology, yet many of us feel more alone than ever before. This disconnection can drive us to seek comfort in addictive substances or behaviors. The good news is that just as disconnection can fuel addiction, connection can be a powerful force for healing. This is where community support, such as 12-step programs and group therapy, can play a crucial role in recovery. As the Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 to 10, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." But what about those of us who feel we've fallen too far? Is there hope for those who've hit rock bottom? The answer is a resounding yes. In fact, for many people, hitting rock bottom becomes the turning point in their journey to recovery. It's often in our darkest moments that we find the strength to reach out for help and make meaningful changes in our lives. The Bible is full of stories of redemption and second chances. Take the story of the prodigal son in Luke chapter 15, verses 11 to 32. This parable tells of a son who squanders his inheritance on wild living, hitting rock bottom before returning home to his father's open arms. It's a powerful illustration of the unconditional love and forgiveness available to all of us, no matter how far we've strayed. Recovery is a journey, not a destination. It's about progress, not perfection. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. And while the road may be challenging, it's a journey we don't have to walk alone. If you're finding value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us reach more people with this important message. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools in overcoming addiction: neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to form new neural connections and rewire itself throughout our lives. This means that the changes in our brain caused by addiction are not permanent. With the right interventions and consistent effort, we can literally reshape our brains, creating new, healthier patterns of thinking and behavior. This scientific understanding aligns beautifully with the biblical concept of renewal, as it says in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This verse speaks to our ability to change our thoughts and behaviors to be made new. Recovery, then, is not about returning to who we were before addiction. It's about becoming a new, stronger version of ourselves. It's about growth, self-discovery, and transformation. Every day in recovery is an opportunity to rewire our brains, to make choices that align with our true values and desires. But what about prevention? How can we protect ourselves and our loved ones from falling into the trap of addiction in the first place? Education is key. Understanding the risk factors and early signs of addiction can help us make informed decisions and seek help early if needed. Building strong, supportive relationships and developing healthy coping mechanisms are also crucial. Teaching our children emotional intelligence and resilience can equip them with the tools they need to navigate life's challenges without turning to addictive substances or behaviors. It's also important to address the stigma surrounding addiction. Shame and secrecy only fuel the cycle of addiction. By speaking openly about these issues, we create an environment where people feel safe seeking help. Remember, addiction is a health issue, not a moral failing. As we near the end of our journey today, let's reflect on the words of Galatians chapter 6 verse 2, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." This verse reminds us of the power of community and compassion in overcoming addiction. Whether we're struggling ourselves or supporting someone who is, we're all in this together. So, where does addiction come from? As we've seen, it's a complex interplay of biological, psychological, environmental, and spiritual factors. But more importantly, where does recovery come from? Recovery comes from within us, from the incredible resilience of the human spirit. It comes from the support of our loved ones and our communities. For many, it comes from a connection with a higher power. And it comes from the cutting-edge research and dedicated professionals who continue to advance our understanding of addiction and develop new treatments. Remember, no matter where you are on your journey, whether you're struggling with addiction, supporting a loved one, or simply seeking to understand, you are not alone. There is hope, there is help, and there is a path forward. As we conclude, I want to leave you with this thought. Addiction may be a formidable enemy, but the human capacity for change, growth, and healing is even more powerful. Every day, people are breaking free from the chains of addiction and reclaiming their lives. You or your loved one can be one of them. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of addiction. Remember, knowledge is power and understanding is the first step towards change. Together, we can break the cycle of addiction and build a healthier, more compassionate world. Stay strong, stay connected, and never lose hope. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.